Hey, what's going on? We got the Wade Phillips defensive preview and philosophy part right here. Just talking a little bit about the defense. I had a great opportunity to coach in the defense, and this is one of the films that I was a part of 2015 in an AFC Championship game. And I just want to start with talking about the philosophy for Wade. Wade's philosophy is to keep things simple. All right, he doesn't want guys to have to make too many checks. He'd rather guys worry about technique, getting aligned correctly, and playing hard. All right. So his defense is reflective of that. We were not going to come out and make a lot of checks on first and second down. The only time that we might have a scheme defense that might change the coverage, depending on the formation, would be maybe on third down when we would try to scheme up to take away somebody. All right. But in general, the defensive front was based out of the 3-4. Okay. And Wade is well versed in all of 3-4 fronts, but the one that his dad made popular and he and his dad pretty much created was just the attacking style 3-4. Because when they started the defense back in the 70s and early 80s, 3-4 teams were usually two gap teams at the time. All right. And 4-down teams were your one gap teams, and they would be in over and under fronts. Those 4-down teams, they would just put one linebacker on the ball and they would play ball from there. So Wade and his dad pretty much created the 3-4 version of the same type of defense, attacking style defense, getting to a gap. So I remember talking to him about a story. He told me a little bit about the history. And he used to always actually line up in an odd front to start. He would just be in a 3-4 odd, and then he would slant his guys to their gaps. But then as he got better players and you know, basically he said, why not just line them up in the gaps and just play 3-4 defense, right? So his favorite style of front is the under front. So 3-4 under, that's pretty much what he likes to do. Sorry about the end zone copy of this. I don't know why it's so choppy. But the 3-4 under is what he likes, his favorite style of front, even though in his playbook he does have over as well, and odd, and cub, and bear. Okay, so but 3-4 under is his base front. And then the coverage scheme behind it, he likes to bring both outside linebackers off the edge. He just names the players that are going to blitz. He makes it simple. So he says Sam will cover one. All right. So both guys are going to be athletic edge outside linebackers that are primarily pass rushers first, hardly dropping them in the coverage. All right. So that's pretty much the style of the defense. The inside linebackers are going to be two run and hit type linebackers. They don't have to be extremely big. They just need to be athletic, aggressive, because up front, you're going to have your three defensive linemen, your interior players. They're going to be your traditional 3-4 type of players. However, you usually like to have at least one of those guys be a good pass rusher. And usually that guy is he would be your 3 technique. He would be the guy that would be working over the B gap to one side when you get into your sub packages. All right. But the coverage scheme behind it, cover one, simple, play your guy. Now, do you have good corners? We did in Denver, so we played a lot of press coverage, okay? Do you not have good corners? No, you don't. You play off coverage, okay? That's my boy TJ Ward going up against Gronk right there. We spent so much time working on the behind the back shoulder throws that they throw the Gronk, and he did a nice job of locking that one up right there, all right? Gronk crying, looking for a flag. Anyway, so the overall gist is that. Now, zone-wise, he does play zone. So cover 3 zone is his style, is his favorite zone. Actually, you know what? It's funny. At this time, in 2015, I mean, this was brought on by, really, I'm not trying to just pat myself on the back, but I came from a system with Rex Ryan where it was more quarters based, and what's his name? Wade always had quarters in his system. It wasn't anything new, but we really liked playing quarters. We had a good defense for it. We had 2 corners that can play press quarters, they can play off quarters. We had 2 run and hit safeties that like to play aggressive, so it kind of fit our scheme. It also gave you great disguise. You know what I mean? That's 3 buzz right there, if you're wondering. It's a good way of showing quarters and just dropping down and playing 3 buzz. But we did play quarters, even though I was not really a huge fan of quarters. We kind of were like hit and miss with it. We really weren't a dominant quarters team. We would get more, it would be more of a change up, okay? But really, throughout his years, cover 3 was his favorite way of playing zone defense. So he plays 3 sky. He plays spot drop cover 3, 3 sky or 3 buzz, as you just saw right there, that last one. Here goes another 3 buzz. So we're playing spot drop cover 3 on 3rd and long, let the pressure get in there, and everybody has eyes on the quarterback. That's a little old school. Not a lot of people play spot drop cover 3 really in the NFL since the early 2000s. But in general, when you have a good pass rush, you can really play whatever coverage you want. But that was his style. Now, the other key thing in coverage that is his calling card is the corners over part of his defense. So, like, this is a slot formation right here. We would actually take our corners and play. The corners would travel with the receivers no matter what. So teams that knew that constantly put us in slot formation. And they would try to get us to, basically always be in one defense all the time. But we would be in man sometimes we'd be in zone. So that was special. And that's something that's really kind of more of an old school, old style way of playing that not a lot of coaches really believe in. It takes a little bit of work. And in Madden, unfortunately, you can't really, you can do this with the man align feature. However, there's some adjustments you're going to have to make because the zones are going to be all over the place. My goal is to actually still recreate that corners over and only have to make maybe 2 adjustments. That's my goal, and then I don't mind doing it. If I have to make more than 2 adjustments, right now I can do it in 3. I'm a little bit worried that I'm not going to be able to do what Wade likes to do, line up and play football. So just think about that going forward. Now, there are some other personalities, other characteristics of Wade's defense. He's known to be a great person to be able to attack blocking schemes. So whatever your blocking scheme was, from his knowledge in being in the NFL, if you were a slide team, if you were max protection team, if you were a dual read team, which means your running back is going to work different linebackers and try to be able to block multiple linebackers depending on who comes. He understood that, and he had pressures that were designed to beat that type of stuff. Can you do that in Madden? Unfortunately not. Madden doesn't give you that ability as much. Madden's more of an overload blitz game, but there are some zone pressures in the game that work. Oh, I love that interception right here. This is one rare example of us dropping 8. We actually stole this from the Cowboys defense that year. We have a 4-down line here. This is sub package, but what we did was basically double team and get hands on Gronk. So that's right there, Von Miller dropping out of his pass rushing role and dropping into coverage and picking off Tom Brady there. So that was a special thing that we did against them. Kind of surprised them, obviously. But look at this, cover 1. You see this look right here versus this tight formation. Here you go, man on man, cover 1, cover your guy. Make Tom Brady have to find the matchups, okay? And we're going to probably send 5 guys here. Probably that linebacker's going to blitz. There we go. See all that collapsing pressure around the quarterback? That's pretty much it. So we're going to do different things to make sure that everybody's getting a one-on-one. It's not like Wade wasn't necessarily trying to trick you like some coordinators do on defense. He was just trying to make sure he gets the one-on-ones that he wants. So he gets Von Miller matched up on a guard or on a running back or whatever it might be. And then we go from there. That was just a ridiculous play on 3rd and long. I can't believe he got that ball in there. But again, you see kind of like the 5-man front here with the linebacker standing in the gap. So as we recreate the defense right now, I'm going to work with just some of the base stock books that we have. But once we put the full thing together at the very end, I'm going to have to go out there and grab some of these odd fronts with linebackers standing at the line of scrimmage, some of the exotic fronts that you can do. And he would use that primarily on 3rd down. 3rd down was when he wanted to do some of the exotic pressure. First and second down, it was pretty much under, cover 1, cover 3, with some, generic zone blitzes, but really more that, and then mixing in quarters when we had teams that we had to think about maybe double teaming a wide receiver. Okay. There's some other little things as we go through the defense. He had some nice little packages, like one's called the single package, which is your base defense, but you take a corner and put him at safety. That really gives you a nice little, there goes a safety blitz. Love that one. So again, look at this one right here. This is actually like a design blitz. We're blitzing to the running back. We're going to send 5. Right, so it's a good run blitz to maybe sneak against a run play like that. But also, you see, he did that on 1st and 10. But also, it's a good play that if they actually did, pass the ball, there's a good chance that safety is going to be 1-on-1 running from 15 yards downhill on the running back. Okay, so besides that, there's some little things we could talk about. Red zone. Did we play 2-man? Kind of, not so much. We played more 1 robber. But we did have some 2-man packages that we mixed in there. But we'll go through all the little details of this package. Obviously, I'm very experienced with it. Is it my favorite defense? From the point of what we said, simplicity, yes. It was one of my favorite defenses where you can kind of get lined up and play. You don't have to have a million checks. And then obviously the blitz, the package of the idea of bringing 5 guys, and then also making sure that you put stock on your D-line, on your pass rushers, making sure you have good edge rushers. Wade Phillips always had good edge rushers. Making sure you do that. I like it. I didn't like the cover 3 and how we played spot drop cover 3. I wish we had some other versions of cover 3. But that's not bad. All right. And then the corners over package is worthwhile. It is worthwhile, but it's a lot of teaching. So I kind of would rather sometimes versus certain teams, if we know they're going to be in slot formation, maybe just be in nickel or be in a different package where we can kind of match up and be a little bit more, even more simple versus slot formations. Okay. But overall, it's definitely a scheme that I have to respect and I have to give a lot of praise to. Won a Super Bowl with them. So I really, really love that part of it. And the players that play for Wade all love playing for him. He's a great personality, very laid back, very just he's intense, but he's not overly intense. He's not a rah coach. He's actually more of a grandfather type of coach, you know what I mean, like a wise grandfather who likes to crack jokes and and stuff like that, and keep you keep the stress off of you and leave it on him. My safeties used to hit, boy. My boys, they knew how to hit and not use their heads and not get in trouble. They knew how to use their shoulders. So I go back and I look at this, and that's very impressive. Definitely the 2 best hitting safeties that I've coached in the defense, with Darian Stewart and TJ Ward. But we also, in this game, if you go back and watch this game on TV, we won this game with TJ Ward and Darian Stewart, and I'm not sure. I think we had another corner down. I don't know. It was Nickel Roby. We had like 4 of our starters not playing, and we had only 1 starter. Chris Harris had to go back and play safety a little bit. It was a pain in the butt, and we had to win the game with a bunch of backups. And those guys, thank God for them. We had a bunch of smart backup DBs that had been in the league and understood, and they got us the win, and we went to the Super Bowl. So big props to those guys. All right, so that's the intro. I don't think I'm missing anything. If I am, I'll make sure I bring it up throughout the remaining videos. I'm doing this after I already made my base and the sub video, so if you hear me repeating some stuff, that's the reason why. But I wanted to make sure there was just an intro, just to, for the future guys that might hear this, just to get an idea of what the defense is all about. All right, Tom Brady getting the ass. Look at Tom Brady running and getting cut sticks. Watch this. We're gonna end it on this. Good way to end it. Pretty sure TJ Ward did this to him, right? Yeah. No, it was Talib. Oh, that's funny. All right, man. So enjoy the stuff, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.